I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. Come back to me. 'Cause the things that I hold dear to me go away, go away, go away. That hard look here, facing all my fears. Got a natural reputation, drinking wild trash beer. That's all I want, all the things I had, but they're out of reach. Out of my grass, it's not alright. Never been okay, nothing's ever gonna be the same again. Been headed here my entire life, down this wayward path, path, path. I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm rolling, going down in flames, going down in flames. Come back to me, 'cause the things that I hold dear to me go away, go away, go away. I'm ruined, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm ruined, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm ruined, going down in flames, going down in flames. I'm ruined, going down in flames, going down in flames. Come back to me, 'cause the things that I hold dear to me go away, go away, go away. At the bottom of this bottle, I'll remain, I'll remain, I'll remain.
What's happening? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Yes, we can do this against all odds. Sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Texas Silver Rush, the Organic Grill, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards in lovely Denver, Colorado. How's everybody doing? We're excited. We got a great show today with a great guest. We're doing cool shit. It's a great, big, exciting world out there. Be positive. Do good things. Fuck the haters. Fuck them. Let them hate. Gives a shit. You know? Well, thanks, Gina. It just, this takes time to get up to speed, you know? What I'm saying? What's up, William Burkhart? Hell yeah, I've been waiting for this all day. Good, man. Good. Fuck the hatred. Seriously, man. We got a great little community. We got a great little worldwide community here. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's all good. What do I have exciting to tell you? I'm excited to be with you today. I am, man. I love you people. I do, man. I love doing the show. You know, I do. Yes, it's going to be a great show. PMA all day. Well, I don't know about all day, but let's try to be positive when we do the show, you know? What's up, Ian? How are you, buddy? Upstate Rick, what do you say? Speed, shout out to the Coronavirus Chronicles comments crew. That's right. I see that you people have a whole community and dialogue going on as I do the show that has nothing to do with the show. So that's cool, man. That's great. ORIC 1213, love your show. All right. My show loves you, bro. My show loves you. Roos Cyril, what's up, dude? You're wearing it. What can I tell you? Dom, what's up, Dom? Oh, a Life of Agony guy's coming on, so you can watch my show today. That's cool. Thanks for stopping by, motherfucker. I see you laughing back there, guest of the day. Hey, Yuri, how are you? ¿Cómo está, Ole? Hola a todas. Good. East Hangover's in the house. All right. You know what? Let me announce, who's coming up next on this friggin' show. Yeah, next up on Sunday, is Charlie from Judge and Gorilla Biscuits. So everybody gotta get their shoes and socks on and come around the corner for that one. That should be cool. Judge Gorilla Biscuits, Civarelli. So that'll be cool. After Charlie is Phil Caivano, right? Phil's a great guy. Let me see. Where's Phil? And we got Phil. We got Filthy Phil from Monster Magnet and Blitzbier. Murphy's Law. He did a stint in Murphy's Law with Todd Youth and Shrapnel. I know you people. Anybody out there know Shrapnel? They were like the Ramones of Jersey, and we'll talk about it. But you know, Michael Alago signed them to Elektra back in the day. They were teenagers. So and Phil's an old friend, and he's a good dude. So what's up, Ralph Torres? How you doing? Rumblers represent. Hell yeah. Yep, Phil rules, man. When's a live anything next year? I don't think there's going to be any live shows with people until I'd say the spring. Call me crazy, but that's my guess on it. You know, that's some bad hat, Drew. Bad as in bad, or is this bad as in good? I'm a napalm dropping motherfucker, right? What else? After Phil is Joe from Outburst. What's up? Joe Sanko from Outburst. Queens, New York represent. That should be cool. And then after JoJo, we got Ed Stasium, Crazy Ed Stasium, who produced the Ramones, Living Color Vivid, Biohazard, State of the World Address. I was there for all that, and Misfits. This guy has an incredible history of making and producing music. We're really looking forward to talking to him. And then after that, you know, as my patrons know, you know, this one took a little effort, but we're excited. We got Israel coming on the show from Bad Brains and Fireburn. So that should be cool. But hey, enough of me bullshitting. Let's bring Rat Bones on. What's up?
What up?
What are you doing, man? Are you
Well, they finished hosing down the streets here in New York. Get the mask off now. What's up, guys?
Let's see that shirt, man. That's cool.
Yo, Book of Souls tour. Barclays. This was a great show. I can't believe 3 years already. 27.
I've never seen Iron Maiden play.
I was in the nosebleeds, and Bruce pointed right at me.
I never liked Iron Maiden back in the day. I mean, I liked at first I liked the first two records they did. I liked.
Sure. I mean, they pioneered on and on without radio play, and they just made it happen for themselves. So I give them kudos for that. But let's roll in. I got a few not a lot of collectibles, Drew. I know you get a little antsy over there.
Go ahead. Here you and you're on.
Raw Dog Collectible today. We all remember where some of our rock and roll dreams really started was with Cream magazine. So I got a couple of these nice Cream magazines. These are already sold, actually. That's why I'm showing them off. We got the Cream with David Lee. I mean, a lot of guitar players, right? Rick Nelson, Their First Love, guitar. And then I got remember these old 16 magazines? They're ratty, whatever. So, and Hit Parader, Iron Maiden versus Def Leppard.
Oh boy, here we go with Iron Maiden. At least it's not Kiss today.
And they're on the bottom. Maiden's on the bottom back then, right?
Right. They were on the bottom.
So that's the collectible of the day. I got a great toy today, guys. We'll start off with I love He-Man. I don't care if you like He-Man or not. I love these He-Mans. These were the
Wouldn't it be wait a second. Whoa. Wouldn't it be He-Men? What's the plural? You said I love these He-Mans. Wouldn't it be? I love these He-Men.
Well, they're He-Mans. They're He-Men.
They're He-Men.
That's He-Man. That's the skeleton. But these Battle Damage are awesome. I love these old school Battle Damage.
Who's the other villain in He-Man that you break out? I know that's Skeletor.
Skeletor. Well, it's funny that you should ask that today, Drew, because a lot of people don't realize some of the coolest villains were on like the cheesier cartoon. Because when He-Man got really, really huge, they put out She-Ra, Princess of Power, and the bad guys there was Hordak. Hordak.
Nice.
Horde. So
wow.
These guys. So it's like the villains got meaner, but it was on a cheesier show. Like, you know, I didn't watch cartoons back then. This stuff. You know, I started collecting this stuff later. This is like my younger brother's era. But that being said, seeing Evil Horde, I got the Mega. A lot of kids had the Castle Grayskull, you know, but a lot of kids didn't.
You believe this shit?
This was the coolest playset as a kid, man. The lair, right? The snake's lair. So hell yeah. This is where Hordak as an Evil Horde hung out. So, you know, it's a little more kind of like the Batcave for He-Man, right? But
hey,
cool.
Everyone's got to have one, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think this thing is sick. Look at the detail on that.
It looks like my face here.
That's pretty much the toy today. I thought I was I'm running out of stuff because I was doing 3 toys a day, so I ran out of a lot. But I'll have to start breaking out the bigger stuff to play sets and you know.
What happens when you run out of toys? Are you off the show?
No, man. I'll just talk about the toys in a different way.
Just pull out the same toys again, like, you know.
I kind of am doing that, but things are going good. You know, I kind of ran over my T-shirt. You know, this was the great T-shirt I came out with this year to do the Rat Bones. So I'm doing this by mail order now. If anybody likes this and they want to get one of these, they can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. But this shirt kind of got run over. I was so proud of it to get this one out. And then I did like 2 more back to back. And now they ran over to do a Rat Bone shirt, the balcony dive. And so I got a lot of shit happening. I'm glad to be on the show with you guys today. And can't wait to hear Alan, you know, Life of Agony, big band.
Is there anything else I need to know? What's for dinner?
I've actually got spaghetti on the stove right now, warming up.
All right, cool.
I'm big on the show.
All right, listen, we'll bring you on with Alan to say hi a little bit later.
All right, great. I got a great LOA story.
Thanks, man. Let me guess, you jumped off the balcony and wasted like 20 people.
I broke their drum riser.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
See you later.
All right. Well, there you go. Rat Bones. You know, he's talking about this Hordak, and like Hordak was a term that we used when it goes back to the Biohazard days when I was working with Biohazard, and you know, people would, you know, give you free shit, and if you like overdid it, like, you know, and took, you know, more than was necessary, you were a Hordak. And so the term was like, yo, don't be a Hordak. You know, don't, you know, hey, you want a T-shirt? And then some people, and I'm not going to mention names, some people would just be like, yeah, let me get a large, and then, you know, yo, don't be a Hordak. Just and like, don't even take it if you're not going to wear it. But you know, some people are Hordaks. They hoard shit. Like, I don't hoard shit. I'm not a hoarder. I want a nice, simple, uncluttered life. I got rid of all my shit. My comic books, my baseball cards, all my records, all my punk rock T-shirts. Yo, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing in this world. You know what I want? I want a fucking toothbrush. That's about it. I want all those. Who wants this shit? I don't. I want to live a nice, uncluttered life. You know? Got rid of all that shit. What's the Slayer poster? The Slayer poster is from the Slayer Biohazard Machine Head tour. It's numbered and it's signed by everybody in the band. And the laminate from the tour is in the corner there. Each band guy. You know what? Here, let's do something. Let's do something a little different here. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. I'll show you what we got here. Hold on. How's that? Right? How's that? Typo Negative, Run DMC. It's a crazy world. All right. I hope you found that exciting. Anyway, let's talk about our sponsors a second, and we're going to bring our guest on. We're not gonna cha-cha around here today, right? We're gonna keep it moving and grooving. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards. Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, located in Lakewood, Colorado, is the Rocky Mountain headquarters of all things punk, hardcore, and metal. Metal. It's not this, it's this. I'm sorry. This is like, hey man, let's go surfing. This is metal, right? All things metal. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and Los Angeles. From the pit to the ditch, they've got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. And coming up on the show with... on Sunday's show, Josh from Chain Reaction Records is going to come on the show from the store and pull out a couple records as to what just came in and cool stuff like that. Also, New York Hardcore Comics opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys, statues, magic, the gathering, and all things horror. The horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or any social media channel. There you go. All right. Let's see. Let me say my last goodbyes here. Oliver Meads, what's up, brother? I hope you're well. Oh, the horror. The horror. The horror. How much do you want for them, Drew? Ha 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 ha. I just sold one of my Go records, actually. Someone made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He made me an offer another. I was like, yo, I'm not selling one of my Go records for a couple $100. A couple meaning 2, or a few meaning 3. He just ended up making me a crazy ass offer, and I was like, you know what? You got it. Fuck it. You know? Here we go. What's going on here? I think Evan jumped off the stage to fight a skinhead at the West Palm show on that Slayer tour. Okay. All right. The 40-year anniversary of Apocalypse Now was just a couple of days ago. The horror. I love that film. I love Apocalypse Now. And I love the extended version. I love it. And I love the documentary, Hearts of Darkness, that Coppola's wife shot about the making of Apocalypse Now. I fucking love that. It's great. Speaking of films, I actually have a note here. I watched a film the other night, and I thought it was very good. It was called Dark Waters. I don't know if anybody has seen that, but I recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's called Dark Waters. Interesting. It's Ruffalo, guy who plays the Hulk, right? And he's in it, and it's well acted, well directed. The story's good. I don't want to give yeah, okay, here we go. People are chiming in. Dark Water. It was a good film. If you're fucking, dragging ass through fucking Netflix trying to figure out what to watch, Dark Waters was really good. Are we having another show like the Planet of the Apes? Oh, like the Planet of the Apes show that I did, and it got fucking blocked from the internet because I used so many fucking clips. We're thinking about having a comic book show, actually, a show that's centered around comic books. We're thinking. John Harmon used to cook for Coppola. Is that right, buddy? Okay. I have never seen Apocalypse Now, bro. Get off my show. Go away. Go and watch, dude. This film's changed my life. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. That's it. Thank you. Mark Ruffalo likes old punk. Yo, Mark Ruffalo, it's his vehicle, so to speak. Sometimes you see a film and the actor, it's sort of like it's known in Hollywood, it's his vehicle. He's behind it, he co-produced it, it's like his thing. This film, Dark Waters, is Mark Ruffalo's vehicle, and it's very, very good. Okay, so that said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get down. Let's get down. Get up, get down. Let me set it up. You know what? Let me set up our guest with this, right? That's kind of appropriate, right? Do we like this one or do we like this one? I'll go with this one for now. Today's guest is an American bassist, songwriter, and comic book creator. A Brooklyn native, he is best known for his work with the band Life of Agony, as well as his work on his graphic novels, Wire Hangers, Crawl to Me, Killagy, and his horror-themed coloring book, The Beauty of Horror. A graduate of New York School of Visual Arts, where he studied under teacher and comic book legend Walter Simonson. Please welcome, Brooklyn, New York represent. Here we go, Mr. Alan Robert. What's up?
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm
Thanks.
excited to be here. I really enjoyed the Hoya episode.
Good.
I was telling you about it, and I was just chilling in my backyard, drinking some beers. I watched the whole thing, and a lot of the old stories brought me back, to that whole mindset when all these bands started in the scene. And it was really kudos to you, man.
Thanks, man. I mean, we have a good time here, and we try to mix it up, and we try not to exist solely in the past, but people like to hear this shit, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So tell us what was going on when the global pandemic hit. Did you guys have shows, or like where were you guys at? What was going on?
We were literally about to hit the road with Doyle in the States. It was March 12th. It was like Thursday night, and then our first show was supposed to be in Philly on Friday the 13th. And it got canceled that morning, and that was it. That was like everything got shut down, and I actually never even packed a bag. And we were supposed to leave for weeks, so that was it, man. And then we tried to do our best to move all the shows to the fall, and those end up getting canceled because of the large gathering restrictions that were going on everywhere. And
Yep.
Even if you fly in to like Australia, you got to quarantine for 14 days and things like that. We were supposed to do Europe and Australia. We were supposed to be out all year.
Yeah, you guys had it was extensive, man. You guys were really, really ready to go out and do some work, huh?
Yeah, and we're trying to move everything to next year. Hopefully, things start opening up again.
Yeah, I think everything's just been put on hold for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody's going to make it out on the other end of this thing. I think there's going to be a bunch of bands that, are not going to are going to be done by the time things rev up again.
And a lot of venues. I mean, how long can they keep it going without, shows and even cutting capacity to what 25, 30% or something. People are taking over the parking lots, with their little makeshift tables and chairs and stuff.
Well, it's a strange world because this show was created out of that vacuum, and the show is been thankfully has been successful and it's somewhat popular and it's become, you know, something that I love doing. It wasn't a plan of mine until the zombies started roaming the earth and biting people, you know, and then you know, so it's kind of cool. You know, everybody's everybody.
No,
What's that?
something good came out of it.
It did. That's what happens sometimes, right? I mean, you know, good, you know, and it's not just me. I mean, I know there's a lot of bad, but I started something that I've always wanted to do, you know, that I've always had you know, so in that regard, it's great. So let's talk about, oh, you know what I wanted to show? Right. You know, I'm mixing it up here. As we're talking about Life of Agony, I wanted to show this picture here. Boom. This is the current lineup of Life of Agony, correct?
Yep.
Walk us through who's in it these days.
Joey Z on guitar, Veronica Bellino on drums. That's Mina Caputo on vocals, and that's me holding up the wall over there.
Yeah, right. And that's your singer there showing a little leg, you know.
Yeah, a little cleave,
a little cleavage and a little leg, and you know, yeah. And Joey playing pocket pool, you know. So I like the texture. And where'd you shoot this? It's like one of those places like they make that for a film set. It costs like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, but you got to, you know, find these places. Where is that?
That is actually it's probably a real haunted house. It's called White Hill Mansion in New Jersey, and it's from the 1800s, I think. And it used to be, I mean, every room looks like that. It's just completely decrepit. Your eyes melt from the mold when you walk in the door.
Wow.
And we shot our Lay Down video off the new record in that spot, and we did a photo shoot for the Sound of Scars record there, and we spent the whole day, and we have friends that let us use it. It's like a historic landmark now. The basement, someone was murdered. It was an old bar in the basement from Prohibition days, and there's like a tunnel that they used to bring the booze from the boats from the lake right through the tunnel on sleds into the basement there, and they had a little bar, and that's where someone got knifed to death, I think.
Crazy. You know, people are chiming in here about Veronica. Veronica's getting a lot of love here. You know,
she's amazing. Amazing.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal drummer and an even better person, and we're blessed to have her.
That's nice, man. It's nice when you really get along with your bandmates and enjoy. You know, I've been in bands almost my whole adult life, and there's ups and there's downs, and there's been people in and out. But when you have a group of people that you really enjoy being with and spending time with, and it's exciting, you know.
It's a lot of fun, and you know, we recorded the last record with Sylvia Massey, who did the Tool record,
right?
And we went out to her studio, and what a wild experience. You know, first of all, she's got a studio in Ashland, Oregon, and
wow,
we get there. Yeah, it's like in the middle of nowhere. Ashland is a beautiful little town, but there's like deer walking around the streets, and there's mountains, snow-covered mountains, and she's got this converted church that she changed up into a studio, and on Sundays it's actually a church. Still,
oh wow,
it's like one room where the recording console, which has got an old Neve, is in the same room with the band, and everyone's got to record with headphones, including her.
I saw some pictures of you guys recording. Yeah,
really, really awesome experience.
That's awesome. And Oregon is beautiful country, man.
Yeah, it was like we drove through all those winding roads through the mountains, like The Shining. You know, the opening.
Yeah.
Shining.
Yeah.
That
with the river, right? You know, you're just like right
Yeah.
along. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Joey, we flew into Portland, and then we drove down, and Joey was driving, and I'm like, Joe, this looks like The Shining, you know. And I looked it up. Sure enough, we were like 3 hours away from where they shot that.
Yeah, that was Oregon. Is that where they sort of said that The Shining took place?
They did some outdoor shots there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to sort of set the table with Life of Agony and the current lineup. And boy, Veronica's getting a lot of love. And let's talk a little bit about music. How did you get into music? Did you grow up in a musical home? How did music come into your orbit?
Believe it or not, when I was a little kid in Canarsie, Brooklyn, right across the street from me was Evan Seinfeld. And he was a couple of years older than me. And he actually used to babysit me. And he had Gene Simmons posters all over his wall. And would listen to Kiss all the time. And that was my first experience to anything in the heavy metal, you know, spectrum. And I think I spent my first $5 on like Kiss Double Platinum. And that was it. I was hooked.
Yeah. I got a photo of that. Hold on. Let me dig that out, because this is awesome. This is really great. And people are going to be like, whoa, this is that, huh?
It's loading up. Yep, there's me in the front there, and that's Evan. At my birthday party, I think I was 6. And we were watching like a neighbor do magic tricks in my living room.
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, that's, yeah.
So you grew up in Canarsie?
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Canarsie, of course, a hotbed of musical activity in those days, you know, with, you know, of course, you know, Danny came from Canarsie, Danny Schuler, but Canarsie, you know who's from Canarsie is Warren Cucurulo. You know who he is?
No.
He played with Frank Zappa. He was in Duran Duran. He's from Canarsie. But yeah. So that's how so you and Evan basically grew up together, and he was a couple yeah, go ahead.
So so I had moved when I was like 12 or 13. We moved to Mill Basin, a few miles away, and started, you know, a whole new life. You know, I went to high school of art and design and things like that. I was going into the city and stuff like that. And I had met Joey Z at school. He went to art school also. And we started LOA in 1989. And just randomly, I was working in like a corner one-stop store, and I cut my hand open really bad. And that's why I play with a pick. I can't play with my fingers.
Is that right?
And I ended up, my dad took me to Kings Highway Hospital, and I'm waiting to go get stitches. And who walks in delivering Lenny and John's pizzas to the nursing
Evan
staff?
Seinfeld.
And I had really long hair at the time. I long hair, glasses, unrecognizable from the kid that you showed in the picture. But my dad looked the same. And so Evan recognized my dad. He goes, "Hey, Rich, what's going on?" He starts bullshitting with my father. And he looks at me sitting on the table waiting to get stitches. And he's like, "Alan?" And we ended up talking for a little bit. And he gave me a pass to go see Biohazard at L'Amour's. And that was actually my first concert that I ever went to.
Your first concert was Biohazard at L'Amour's?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Here's I think this is a good reference photo, right?
Yep. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Now
my Vision Streetwear kicks right there.
Oh, nice. Hi.
You know
Yeah.
where that's from? This is from Fastlane Studio. Mikey Big Balls. Mike Farah.
Mike Farrar. Yep. You know how I could tell? Because of the checkerboard linoleum floor.
Yeah. Oh man,
right?
that place was the worst to drag your gear up and down those
Oh,
exorcist stairs. You know what I mean? It was like in the
yeah.
middle of the night after a gig, dragging your gear back upstairs was like a nightmare.
I have. Wait, I know. I'm going into the archive here. Um,
It's
let me
like this
find.
is your life.
Well, not only is this. Where's my? I got a great shot of us at Fastlane back in that day. Let's see, where is that sucker? Oh, here it is. This is a little off topic, but it's still kind of on topic. Being that we're talking about Fastlane here.
Yeah.
Here's Stigma, me, and Evan Seinfeld at Fastlane Studios.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was it. And you had to and the Marilyn Monroe and the James Dean shit on the wall. And
I think Joey Z painted the logo on the wall there.
Oh, he did it. He did. That's right. It said underneath it, Joey. Yeah, Joey Z. Yeah. That's right.
Me and Joe, we used to paint some other spots. We painted L'Amour's. We painted murals all throughout L'Amour's.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember, but the lobby used to have black light, and it had giant psychedelic faces all over the lobby. And we painted all that, and a giant anaconda snake across the wall, and they had this back VIP lounge in the back, and it was all psychedelic jungle themed. They gave us like $1,500 to paint the whole thing in 3 nights, and I think
Cool.
the place was haunted because we had to do it after hours. So we would show up there at like 9-10 o'clock at night and paint to the morning, and we would hear voices in that place.
This is the original L'Amour, the L'Amour's building.
Yeah.
It's still there. The building's still there, right?
Yeah, now it's like Red Wolf or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. Red something. Yeah. Wow, that's funny. I mean, we're on. So, how did Life of Agony get formed? Come about? What was the impetus?
Bunch of angry kids looking for something to do. We really loved going to shows at L'Amour's. We would take the bus to L'Amour's all the time. That was like our hangout, and saw some of my favorite bands. I saw Quicksand there for the first time, playing in front of 12 people, opening up for some big band, and just was blown away. Agnostic Front and Sheer Terror, Carnivore, really endless, and of course Biohazard, and watching them rise in the scene, and it was such a proud moment. I remember watching them at their record release party for the Maze Records thing, and hearing the piano intro for, I think it was Scarred for Life, and I just got goosebumps, and I was like, wow, it's like my friends made it. It's like you can't get better or bigger than this. They sold out L'Amour's, holy crap, and it was such a proud moment. And I think them achieving success really inspired us. And yeah, I mean, we ended up, playing with some of our heroes, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and just David Bowie. Endless bands, Metallica, and you name it.
Yeah, you sent me these pictures a couple years ago, and you didn't remember. I showed them to you when we talked the other day. But this is a picture taken before Life of Agony's first show ever, which according to the notes that I have, was February 11th, 1990, at the Faces Club in Keansburg, New Jersey.
Yeah. So this picture was taken in Fastlane. That's the wall in Fastlane studio. And yeah, That was like the night before we went to Jersey for the first time.
And that's your original drummer, Ken. That's Kenny on the left, right?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, this is a great. These shots are really great that you sent me. There's a couple of them. Here's one. This is great because people ask about this. This is a shot of you guys playing L'Amour's in 1991, and people always ask about this. This kind of cool. People. He was DJing, but Keith's playing keyboards, right? Keith at the time, Mina now is playing keyboards, right?
Yeah. The very maybe the first year we dragged the keyboards around, and Mina would be singing and playing the keys up on this like hand. We called it a podium, but it was really Joey's mom's coffee table that Keith was standing on at the time. And me and Joe made this podium out of plywood with hinges on it. And
I saw the hinges from the side. You can see. I see how it folded in on each. It folded in, right?
Road ready.
It's awesome.
Throw it in the back of the Hertz Penke truck, you know. And,
that's awesome.
And we had that up until we started playing shows where I think in Baltimore we used to play these shows there was no stage, and the pick got so out of control that they ended up knocking over the podium and the keyboards broke, and back then Keith was like, "Fuck this! He broke my keyboard. I'm not buying another one," and that was it, you know.
Does Mina play keyboards at all anymore when you play live, or has that been out for a long time?
Not live, but on the records, she adds a lot of overdubs and cool ambient stuff, and super talented with all that stuff, and she always has been, and especially for her solo work, you could really hear her shine with that. For
sure. And let me see if I got any other oldies here. Well, I got this one. I mean, let's. You know, I hate doing the show and then when it's over, I'm like, I forgot to put that picture up. So I just want to make sure I get all these because these are so fucking great. Here's one of Mina at the, you know, I guess you guys sitting at Fast Lane, getting ready to head out. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And let me see if I have anything else that's. Oh, okay. Here we go. It's good. It's good. We're getting through these, man. Here's now. This is. I assume this is sometime a little bit later because this has. Hold on. There it is. This has on the far right. That would be the second drummer you had, right?
Yeah, that's Eric Chan.
Yeah, I've never seen a photo with him before you sent this to me.
Yeah. This was still this was probably I want to say 91, something like that.
Right. Hi, Andrea. Go ahead.
He lived right across the street from Kenny Peters. I think Kenny sold his drum set to buy a car, and then Eric joined the band because he had a drum set.
That's the way it worked back then, right? It was like, you know,
I need a car. I'm out of the band.
You know, I'm out of the band. You want to buy my drums? You know. Let me see. Yeah, Andrea Katz checking in. Felt the spirit when I photographed bands at L'Amour, for sure. You know, L'Amour was a pretty powerful place. Yeah, I remember. God, you know, I went to L'Amour's once on New Year's Eve when we were doing I think it might have been right after we did the Punishment video. So I think it was New Year's Eve, 92, 93 or something, or maybe it was 93, 95. And Biohazard played New Year's Eve at L'Amour's. and it was bananas. It was something else, man. Yeah.
Where did you film the punishment video?
The punishment video was shot. It was in a couple places. The outdoor stuff, the stuff that was outdoors, was in Red Hook, Brooklyn. That wasteland. I shot 5 videos there. When we were doing music videos, I did 5 videos there, and that outdoor sort of like the wasteland stuff was shot there. Then of course going over the Brooklyn Bridge, all that bit. And then we shot it. I was a stage manager on a film stage called 3Gs in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. So we shot the boss. The boss just gave me I had the keys, and I could I love him to this day. He's one of my one of the great people in my life, Gabe DiRienzo. He has an equipment company called GDR Equipment now, supplies on film shoots. But he had a film stage, and I was the stage manager. So I had the keys. He'd go ahead, and so the indoor stuff with the black and white stuff was shot at 3Gs. And speaking of music videos, and speaking of that gold record right there, the Typo Negative gold record that I got for Black #1. You guys are in that video, right? Why don't you tell me a little bit about? People don't know this. You guys are in that video, right?
Yeah, well, we had the same manager as Typo back in the day, Ken Creedy, and I think he invited us down to the video shoot, and we dressed up like Clockwork Orange with the long underwear and the hats and the noses and bats, and we're in the in the background, running around like maniacs, and up in the tree behind Peter. That's
right. Yep. That's the life of Agony guys,
Yeah.
Up in the tree. And, we shot that at what's known as it's in Central Park. It's the Bethesda, where the Bethesda fountain is. And it's called the Bethesda Terrace. It looks very Gothic. And when we were scouting locations, we were like, this is perfect for Typo Negative. And that video, of course, was directed by Paris Mayhew from the Cro-Mags. I produced it, but we were scouting, and it has the archways, and we shot it there. It's just a great location, and we shot during the course of the night. I think, I think we shot like from sundown to sunup, and listen, those were heady, exciting times during the golden age of music video. And another guy that I work with, Bill Ward, directed a video with you guys, which was kind of like a big breakthrough video, which is the Through and Through video, right?
Yeah, we shot that in Coney Island, right off the boardwalk.
Yeah,
and actually my dad's in it, and
nice.
He plays like the dad yelling at the kid.
Oh yeah, of course.
The kid is Joey's younger brother, Zamp. And all our friends were in it. There's tons of old faces from the scene in there. It was a lot of fun. And I think we went back there recently to check it out. My family went back there. I brought my daughter there, and it's just wild to be back there again.
Yeah,
the parachute jump and everything, and they redid the whole place. But
yeah,
I've been out of Brooklyn a long time now, so I just go back to see my folks.
Yeah, that was a big breakthrough video for you guys. It was a great video, and you guys, where is I got in the spirit of I don't want to miss where is that? Oh, this. In the spirit of I don't want to not post something. How about this sucker right here? Boom.
Wow.
Right?
The photocopy demo.
Yeah. This was the first Life of Agony demo, am I correct?
I think this is the one that we got the Roadrunner deal from. Finally.
Okay.
So this was probably 91. Yeah, it says 91 on it. we had done, I don't know, three before that. But this is the one that Monty Connor got and ultimately signed the band. I think it was like we had to do a couple more songs before he signed the band. He wasn't convinced that me and his vocals were gonna work. It was very different at the time, and I think we recorded songs through and through this time, and maybe words and music, and then he finally was like, "Okay, I'm gonna sign the band."
Cool. You know, let me do this. Hang with me a second. Let me shout out some sponsors, and then let's do photo of the day together with Steven Messina. All right.
All right, cool.
All right. See you in a minute. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. What's up, Todd Hamilton? How's things in Arizona? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, and the Texas Silver Rush. Speaking of which, the Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. Woo! Long way from New York City. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course at www.texassilverrush.com. I don't know if I showed you this, but check out this Agnostic Front piece that I got from them. Pretty fucking badass, huh? As a matter of fact, this was made for the Jimmy G. This was auctioned off at the Jimmy G event we did in Tompkins Square Park with the Boss Tones, and there was one left, and I got it. So I could be sort of like, I could be Guido-esque, be like, hey, but meanwhile, it's an Agnostic Front chain. So that's Texas Silver Rush. And while we're at it, let me tell you about the Organic Grill. Let's get rid of Todd Hamilton. Yes, that is dope. I know, right? It's awesome. Yep. Cool. Texas Silver Rush, yo. Reach out. These are our people. It's Vinny Stigma's cousin. Can you, like, you know what I mean? Vinny Stigma's fucking cousin. So there you go. Meanwhile, the Organic Grill is a vegan restaurant located in the East Village in New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and Veg News. Hey, man, did you read the latest issue of Veg News? Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on their menu could be made gluten-free for all you gluten-free motherfuckers. This year, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. And they are all about having a great time while enjoying amazing clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them and order some great fucking food at www.theorganicgrill.com. You know, one of the things I love about this show is I can curse whenever I feel like it. Veggies. Yep. Veggies. Sick. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, Gina. Thank you for hugging me virtually. And you're a girl. Go figure. Because we all know I like girls. That said, let's do, you know what? I got to mention my Patreon. I got to mention my Patreon page. For those that might be watching the show for the first time and have been living in a fucking cave or something, there's a Patreon page, and that's how you can support the show and make this show happen. Check it out. There's different tiers of stuff. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier, a $10 tier. I'm releasing all kinds of never-before-seen footage, outtakes from my films. I released a couple outtakes from from who the fuck is that guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alagio, that you can watch on Netflix right now if you haven't. I mean, everyone's seen that film, right? Some John Lydon excerpts from that, old Warzone show. I just released some never-before-seen footage of Fury of Five from New Jersey, a band that I was managing at the time, them recording up at the old Normandy Sound in Rhode Island, the infamous Normandy Sound where the Cro-Mags and Leeway and everyone recorded. That's on the Patreon page. So all kinds of cool shit is being released. Yo, I'm done putting my shit on the internet and having it passed around like a cheap Tijuana hooker. It's on my Patreon page. And that is our community within the community. That's how we all communicate. And listen, I know you're out there. My people love it, you know? Yeah, we might need some gluten-free motherfuckers merch, you know? There you go. Drew's losing it. I'm not really losing it. I like doing the show. I like doing the show from here. It's good, comfortable, not a lot of stress. Going down to my dad's soon. I'm going to be down. It's going to be the New York Hardcore Chronicles live from Arnie's fucking kitchen again. So, ooh, that's kind of stressful. That said, let's bring on Steven Messina. What's up?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Are you driving that train, bro, and talking to me at the same time?
Like Casey Jones. No, I'm actually sitting in here because it's quiet and air conditioned, and there's a better signal here. But it's nice.
Yeah.
We're about to leave here in a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, it's got a nice 60 cycle hum going too. I like that.
Yeah, you like that? And look at the shine I'm getting today, by the way, on my head. It's ridiculous.
You know what? I got to put my hat on. We can't have two skinheads on. Hold on. We can't have. All right. There we go.
So it's
right.
This is awesome. I'm excited. I'm so glad Alan is with us today. You know.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Alan's, man, and you're excited about him being on the show. So
I definitely am. One of the coolest, kindest people in the scene. Like that, I've had the pleasure of like knowing him for years and just always loving the band and shooting the band and just this is awesome. This is big. This is really awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and we like getting good people on the show. You know.
Amen to that.
I mean, listen, you can be an asshole and still come on the show, but let's bring Alan back on. Hey, buddy, we were just talking about you.
I heard
What's
a
up,
couple
Alan?
of
How you
things.
doing?
I heard some things.
Good things.
Okay.
Good things.
Good. So, hey, let's do photo of the day. Alan's with us. I know you sent it to me, Steven. Let me find it. Here it is. Ah. Well, there you go. All right. Well, I think I know who this is.
Yeah, this might be a tough one.
Yeah, I think I know who this is, being I've pretty much known this guy my whole adult life.
I come up to like cap.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this photo, Steven.
Well, this is taken 2 years ago at Gramercy, and this was Doyle. Doyle and the opening act was Annika, actually. But he just, another great solo show with him and Alex. Alex Story, who's a great frontman as well. Also has another great band called Cancer Slug. And you talk about fun shows to photograph. You could just photograph this guy the whole night. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I believe Rich Zola was next to me shooting this show as well.
Right.
Just crazy. Just one of those things, and just so cool that while doing these small shows, he was also out doing like arenas with the Misfits. Is
Doyle,
really great moments.
Doyle works hard, man. Alan, any connection with this guy or any history?
A little bit. Huge Misfits fan, first of all. Grew up on the Misfits. Had all the vinyl. Bought it at Zigzag Records. But, 'cause, 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 'cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, if you lose me, if it gets fucked up, just sign off and come back on if it gets really fucked up.
Yeah, it's like some kind of delay. Let me try and do that.
Yeah, do that. All right.
So you know what? You know it's funny. He was talking about the Through and Through video.
Uh-huh.
I saw Life of Agony open for Guar
Mm-hmm.
at the Roxy Music Hall the night before they shot that video. And Joey invited me and a friend of mine to come down to the video shoot. And my father wouldn't let me have the day off from work at the Delicatessen.
Ah.
So
Damn.
I was not, I lost my chance to be in the Through and Through.
Damn. Dad shut you down, bro.
Work comes first, especially when you're the boss's son, you know?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that. That's a great shot.
That's a cool one. I gotta ask him what's going on here, you know?
That looks like a chiller to me, I think.
Yeah, it does. Hey, man.
Yo,
There you go.
Hey.
I think
There you go.
that's from the Rock and Shock up in Massachusetts.
Rock and Shock?
Yeah, they did like a Rock and Shock festival / horror comic convention type of thing. Yeah, and we did something called The Rocking Dead, which was like an all-star cast of mishmash of Randy from Lamb of God and Doyle and me, and we played like a full Misfit set.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I had to wear the makeup, you know.
What was your favorite Misfit song to play?
So wait. Let me get this straight. The lineup was you played bass, Doyle played guitar, Randy sang?
Yeah, it would change out like every song with different singers. So like Alex Story sang some, Randy White. I forget who else. Maybe Wednesday 13. It was kind of like a whole bunch of different musicians. Like there must have been 3 guitar players up there.
That's cool. And also, I know we're skipping around a little bit, Alan, but this comes into play, and you know what? We just go where the horse leads us on the show. This is. Tell us a little bit about this.
Oh yeah. So this was my 3rd comic book series called Trilogy, and it was kind of different in the sense that I cast the characters based on real people, real celebrities. So you had the late great Frank Vincent from Goodfellas and The Sopranos, Marky Ramone, and Brea Grant from Heroes and Dexter, and then we brought Doyle in on it, and it's basically kind of like a horror comedy set in the apocalypse. And it was a 4-issue series, and then put out a Halloween special with Doyle, and then it was compiled into a graphic novel. And we ended up doing a little animation, like a 6-7 minute animation using their voices. That is online at KilligyAnimated.com.
Cool. Yeah, and
yeah,
I got. How many issues of this did you do?
It was just a 4-issue limited series, and that one with Doyle was like an extra Halloween special.
Got it.
And then it was compiled into, I don't know if you can see this. It's like a trade graphic.
Cool. So that's everything. That's everything combined. All the 4 issues combined in one issue.
Yep.
Here's a great shot. Here's a great shot of you working with Frank Vincent. Correct?
Yeah, that's so. When we did the animation, I went to Frank Vincent's house in Nutley, New Jersey, and we sat at his kitchen table with my laptop, and recorded him dropping F-bomb after F-bomb, doing his character, and that's my cousin behind me, who connected us. And yeah, that was just unbelievable moment. After every take, he would apologize to his wife sitting in the next room. Sorry about that, honey. He was a great guy.
Yeah, and he had quite a proficient career, man.
Yeah.
And here comes all the comments. Go get your shine box, right?
Yeah.
Here it all comes. You know, he was on the Sopranos too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he played Phil Leotardo. You know, he
Right,
was like the big bad guy towards the end of the series. You know.
right. That's a good one. Good Phil Leotardo. Good one.
Yeah.
That's
He had
awesome.
that. He had the rubber head. He had the rubber head mold that they used to squash his head with the car in that scene
Ooh.
when they killed him at the
Oh,
gas
really?
station. Yeah.
I remember they said in the Sopranos he was all upset because apparently it was an Ellis Island typo. His last name was supposed to be Leonardo, and instead they spelled it wrong and it became Leotardo.
Yeah, there you go. Phil Leotardo. Yeah, that's funny, man. But yeah, listen, somebody posted before about how, who didn't the Misfits influence, and I think at least the three of us here, and we're all from the same generation more or less, and the Misfits were a huge influence on not just American punk rock, so to speak, but also horror, the horror genre, pretty much, right, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of blended it all, and they were, uh, they were like the more aggressive punk rock, shock rock in a way. It was like down and dirty, and all the songs are about everything that we grew up watching on TV, and late night horror films and sci-fi and all that stuff. So they kind of melded all of our favorite things together.
Yeah.
um, and Unfortunately, I never got to see the original Misfits at the time that I was such a big fan. Glenn had already left the band,
Yeah.
but we got to tour with the Misfits when they did American Psycho, Life, Agony, Misfits, Anthrax. And that was a great tour. That was a lot of fun. We hung out with Jerry and Doyle every day.
Yeah, I did some of that tour, the European part of that tour, when I was managing Sub-Zero, and Alago signed them to Geffen, and that was an exciting time for them, and
Yeah.
I thought Michael Graves was great, I thought he was great.
I'll never forget. They would pull up right in the morning to the venue, and the first thing they would unload were the weight sets, and they would just
Yeah.
work out for hours in the parking lot, and then start the day.
Yep, for sure. Let's tackle this question here, because it's going to come up. Let's just tackle it now. What are your favorite horror films, Alan? What really resonate for you as far as horror films go?
Well, I mean, I always go back to the ones that scarred me as a kid, which was, and looking at them now, it's kind of a joke, but when I was a kid, probably 10 or 11, I begged my parents to see Amityville Horror, and it had just come on HBO for the first time in the 80s, and I ran out of the room. I ran under my covers and had to listen to the whole movie through the wall, the old Canarsie Brooklyn wall, and it scared the shit out of me. It was like my imagination was way worse than the film. So it was that one. It was The Shining. It was American Werewolf in London. Children of the Corn, all the Romero zombie movies, and Hellraisers. Freddy was like the ultimate for me. That's what I dress like Freddy every Halloween. I made the mask before they sold the mask. Made my own knife glove and the whole thing. So I was more of a Freddy guy than a Jason guy.
Yeah.
That was the big battle. Who would win in a fight?
Hey, Steven.
Yeah, those
Yes,
are the
sir.
ones that stick out.
Hey, Steven, you got to get going, right?
Oh yeah, what time you got?
I got 11 after.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go punch out.
Hey, Steven's on the clock. Hey, Steven, we'll see you later. Thank you, buddy.
Al,
Thank you.
pleasure. Great seeing you.
You too.
Listen, you got to love this guy. He comes and does the show from his job, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, we got to ramp up this show, and we got to get up to the next level of being of professionality. And then I kind of go, it's kind of the charm of this thing.
Yeah, it's like back in the day when they had MTV's Headbangers Ball, and then you go to the Dom DeLuca, Man on the Street,
Right.
That's what we got going on here.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, those films. Ryan is mentioning Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shining. I mean,
Chainsaw was a big one too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, do you enjoy these a lot of these sort of gore splatter films, or do you enjoy the how do you say it? The more sort of
psychological.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, growing up, we had mostly like the bloody, gory stuff. It was like the gorier, the better.
Yeah.
Walking in the Blockbuster and walking down the aisles and checking out all the VHS tapes. But now, I really like the psychological thrillers, Hereditary, and anything that's like kind of a throwback to Kubrick. I really like that style the best. The Shining is probably my ultimate favorite, hands down movie. Apocalypse Now is not so bad either.
Yeah, it's good. Apocalypse Now is a horror film, really.
Yeah.
It absolutely is, And
but
The Shining.
It's all about the story and the characters and the way they build suspense, and I think about even like the first opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, where you just have that sit down with the two characters for like 10 minutes, and the level of stress just builds and builds and builds until something's going to happen. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's reel it back in a second, and we'll talk a little bit about music. Looking at my notes, Life of Agony. You guys had a great initial run at it, and then you took a break for a while, and you had another band, Among Thieves, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about you took that first break, and then and what happened. Now that first break was taken. Was that first break taken? I guess I know the answer to this. Whitfield Crane from Ugly Kid Joe was singing for Life of Agony for a minute, right?
Yeah, for a year. Yeah.
And
so what happened?
I saw you guys play, and and you guys were really good. You were really good, I thought.
Thanks. I'm still friends with Whitfield. We still text all the time, and he's good people. And he stepped in when we really needed him, and we did some big things with him. And so I always have a lot of respect for Whit. And
didn't I see you play in Ozfest? Did I see you play Ozfest?
we did the Ozfest. We
Yeah.
played with Black Sabbath with Wit. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we played several tours with Megadeth, theater tours.
Yep.
You know, we had a good time, and we had just completed the Soul Searching Sun album that came out in '97, and Mina Keith back then quit the band, and we had this brand new record, and we had a lot of momentum with that song Weeds. It was at rock radio, and we just didn't want to just hang it up. And I'll never forget Scott Ian from Anthrax. Actually, we were sharing a studio up in Yonkers with those guys, and he introduced us to it, and he was the only one that, and we had auditioned a bunch of singers, and Whit was really the only one who could hit those high notes on River on Dread, and he had the confidence and the showmanship to pull it off with, you know, less than 2 weeks. We had a Megadeth tour booked. I actually wrote all the lyrics out on oak tag, and he had them spread out all over the stage, and was singing and reading the words off the oak tag. Like if you were sitting in the balcony, you were like, what is going on up there? You know, all these sheets. You know, but he did it, and he pulled it off, and it got better and better, and until we took the oak tag off the stage, and he could really feel confident up there.
Yeah, and it must have been an interesting time, right? Because Dan Richardson, who was in the Crumbsuckers, was playing drums with you guys. It's sort of like I mean, from my perspective, looking at it now, it sort of reminds me of like the situation like when Sick of It All had like the Kohler brothers and EK playing drums and Eddie Cohen playing bass. You must look at that back now and go, look at that sort of lineup now. It must seem like a really odd time, huh?
Yeah, we were just trying to keep going, man, and have fun, and you know, these opportunities kept coming our way, and we didn't want to say no. You know, we were doing the Ozfest '98, playing with Motorhead every day, System of a Down, Incubus. I mean, bands that were about to explode, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know, like we did it. We did it for a year. When we finally got into the studio to write new material with Wit, it didn't work, and then Joey ended up doing Stereo Mud with Dan Richardson, and that's when I went to do the Among Thieves thing with Will Shepler from Agnostic Front. He was the drummer. Scott Roberts from The Take, and the singer Rob Brock, and we did that for a while, and we did the whole showcase thing, and eventually Danny Schuler took Will's spot. Danny Schuler from Biohazard, and we ended up working with producer Michael Barbiero, who did, you know, worked on the Ugly record for us, and Guns N' Roses, and, you know, Metallica's Injustice for All. And then we ended up putting out 2 records with Daymare, Warner Brothers Japan. One was called Sound Scam. It was like a live record, and the other one is Beginning of the End.
Yeah, cool. And so just in the timeline, so Spoiler NYC, and then Life of Agony starts up again.
No, actually, I was doing Among Thieves when LOA did the 2003 reunion.
I'm sorry, I mixed it up. I'm sorry, I mixed it up. Among Thieves, and then Life of Agony started playing again.
Yeah, in fact, I think at the reunion, when we played those two nights in New York City
at Irving.
LOA, yeah, Among Thieves opened those shows.
Ah.
And I did double duty, and Spoiler didn't come till later, like maybe 2007, I want to say. A good friend of mine had died of leukemia, and the songs that were coming out of me were all about that, and and it sounded completely different than LOA. So I just wanted to make a record kind of like a tribute to him. And we ended up, I again opened up for Life of Agony in Europe a bunch of times, and we did, you know, a handful of East Coast shows.
Makes sense. Hey, let's talk about. Let's talk a little bit about. You went to School of Visual Arts, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was really what I was on the path to doing. I was like,
Right.
music, you know, music was kind of in the background, doing it on the weekends for fun type of thing. And then I was going to school to be a comic book artist. And that's really what I thought I wanted to do. And I remember when I graduated, actually the last year of school, we had an opportunity to tour as Life of Agony. And my dad basically said to me, listen, I'm only going to give you one piece of advice. Get your degree and then do whatever you want. And it was good advice, you know, so I stuck it out. I did the limited touring until I graduated, and then we jumped in the van, and then 20 years later, 20 years later, I started doing the comic book stuff again.
That's great.
But it was good advice.
Yeah, that's great. And when you were going to School of Visual Arts, one of your teachers was the comic book artist Walter Simonson, who I know, being a Marvel Comics fan, you know, he's the guy who did the Beta Ray Bill Mighty Thor thing, right? I mean, that was a big deal, you know. And what was it like, you know, being under his tutelage, Walter Simonson?
You know, it's funny because I remember being in that class, and he was a living legend, especially to us comic book fans. And there were some kids in that class that drew photorealistic, perfect anatomy, and that would draw circles around me. And so I felt very intimidated being in that class, although I learned a lot. And years later, when I got to put out my own comics, he actually wrote the introduction to the book, Crawl to Me. And it was a huge honor for me. So we crossed paths at the Comic-Con, you know.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it means a lot to him to have one of his students, you know, go on to do such great things. That's really great, you know?
Yeah, some full circle stuff.
Yeah. So hang with me a second. Let me shout out a couple sponsors and announce a couple upcoming shows, and we'll take some questions. We'll bring Rat Bones on, and we'll hear some Rat Bones tales of folklore from back in the day. All right.
All right. Cool.
We'll see you in a minute. It's the it is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by the Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records, New York Hardcore Comics. Did I do everybody already? Yeah. So I want to announce a show that we're doing, brand new show. This is Wednesday, September 9th. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. We don't want anything in the way. Get out of the way. Wednesday, September 9th, right here on the New York Hardcore Chronicles. Jeff J.J. Janik from Discharge. We got the singer for Discharge coming on the show. JJ has an incredible story. He's a New Jersey guy. Grew up with Rat Bones out in New Jersey. Did time out in Jersey. Had a band, Dead Heroes. Got connected with these guys. He sang for Broken Bones. And now he sings for Discharge. So we got the singer for Discharge coming on. He's a great guy. This is going to be cool. So, yeah. No shit. Yeah, you better not miss the show. Drew, what happened to Fryette? Fryette, one of our original sponsors. We love them. We love Fryette. That's Zum, who played with me in Antidote. But, they came on board first, and it took them. They haven't reopened yet. It took them some time, and they just sort of faded. And you know what? There's a couple of people that want to sponsor the show. And you got to make room for these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? We got New York Hardcore Comics. They came on early too. And the Organic Grill wanted to get down. And the Texas Silver Rush wants to get down. And Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards. And there's only room on the boat, for so many sponsors. I don't want to have a show where I'm sitting here going, sponsored by this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. You don't want to hear that shit. So, I think 4 is enough. Fryette blinked. Maybe they'll be back. But, if you blink around here, you're out. You don't got time to fuck around. You know what I'm saying? So JJ from Discharge is coming on the show. Thanks for asking. And listen, don't get me wrong. Fryette, Zum is my boy. One of my best friends in the world. So they'll probably be back, Fryette and Sound City. Let them roam the wasteland a little bit. They'll be back. Anyway, on another note, I want to announce, we are getting together. We're doing a Sunday matinee on the Bowery live streaming show. It's coming up in September. And I want to give you a clue. I don't want to formally announce the whole bill yet, but I want to give you a clue as to one of the bands that are playing, all right? And here's your clue. This is your clue here. This band is playing this event. So take a guess who this band is. So that's the next show will be another clue or whatever, but this is a clue as to we're doing a Sunday matinee on the Bowery, and this is people going on about, how can we support the venues in New York City? This is a benefit for Save Our Stages, for the Bowery Electric, and for our beloved A7. And, this guy's on the bill. So there you go. Yep. Here we go. Yes, it is Stigma. This is a live streaming show. The same way that Murphy's Law did it. Sheer Terror's doing it. This is going to be a couple of bands streaming from the Bowery Electric, and this is one of the bands that's playing. And there you go. Always a good time with this guy. More clues, more blues clues to continue. Let's take some questions. You got any questions for Alan? Please post them up. Also, I want to mention again, if you're not on my Patreon page, what the fuck are you waiting for Christ's sake? Hell to freeze over? Hell has already frozen over, my friend. I have news for you. We are in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Hell has already frozen over. So get on the Patreon page. And also, for those that can't wrap their head around this Patreon thing, there is a PayPal page as well. And that's scrolling underneath. So support this show. This show loves you, and you love this show. So, there you go. No people. No people at the streaming show, bro. That's not happening yet. This is a live streaming show. You got to pay for it, you cheap fuck. You got to pay to see these bands play streaming. There you go. Right. Hey, Steen in Denmark. How you doing, buddy? Promote the shit. Whoa. Promote the shit out of that one, Drew. That's a good cause. I know, bro. Listen, I got this, man. I got this. You want another clue while we're at it? How about another clue while we're at it? Here's another band that's playing. Hold on. Let me see. Let me find this other shot. You know what? I'm not going to tell you who this is. You knuckleheads probably won't get it. Maybe some of you local New York people will, but here's another band on the bill right here. Right? Anybody? Yo, what's up? What's up, Hoya? Oh, Hoya's watching. Yo, Hoya's watching your show, Alan. Because Alan watched your show, Hoya. Here's another clue. Yo, you got it. It's the Craze. Good going, Whitney. The Craze are part of the live broadcast also. So there you go. Stigma, the Craze, and more shall be revealed. So that's going to be announced soon. And I know everybody's it's going to be a couple of bucks. Yes. How come what is this? How come all the girls know the Craze? The girls are like, the Craze. And dudes are like, huh? Who are they? Like, what? Yeah. Girls love the Craze. Go figure. You know? All right. That's cool. They're like a boy band, the Craze. I gotta give Johnny and Spencer Cray a hard time. I love the Craze, man. They bring it. You know? I fucking love the Craze. And I'm not a girl. I like girls, but you know. Anyway, there's the Patreon page. There's the PayPal page. Support the show so we can do cool things. Please inspire me, will you? Listen, shows are going to happen. It's just going to take about 300 years, you know, someday. So don't worry. Yep. All right. Let's clear the deck. Let's take some questions. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Things are starting to go in slow motion. Everything's going in slow motion. Ugh. All right. Steen in Denmark likes girls too. Go figure. It's you and me, Steen. We're the last survivors on Earth that like girls. I think Ratbones and Allen do as well because they've reproduced. I think. Yeah, I won't get into the human anatomy. Listen, May, we all want Bob Riley to come on the show. Bob Riley is computer inept. So my suggestion to everyone out there that knows Bob Riley is to tell him to get his shit together to come on the show. We love Bob Riley. Bob Riley's my boy. So listen, we'd love to get Bob Riley on the show. Jim Brewer. You'd love to see Jim Brewer on the show? That's the first time I've heard that, man. All right. Jim Brewer. All right, we'll look into that. That's interesting. That's the first time I heard that dude's name come up. You know? There you go. All right. Listen, we can't avoid this any longer. Let's take some questions. Where I saw a couple going on here. You know what? I like this one right here. I'm bringing you back on, Alan. Here you go. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
You know, this caught my eye. Listening to WSOU in the late 90s introduced me to LOA. You know, it was stations like SOU that really helped break the band, right?
Absolutely. They were like the pioneers. You know, they had shows like Street Patrol that played our demo tape. And then, you know, when we got the Roadrunner deal, they played all the Roadrunner bands on there all day. And New York really didn't have a big metal rock station. I mean, K-Rock for a hot minute. I mean, we never really had that. So SOU was really what people in the scene listened to when we were coming up. And it helped us tremendously.
Yeah, SOU is, and they're still at it, you know, to a certain extent. But they were the station here, man. You know, you guys and you know Biohazard, and they really pushed. Here's a question from our friend Upstate Rick. Alan, are you on the lookout for any scene related comic ideas?
To be honest, you know, since the pandemic hit, I've been doing nothing but drawing and mostly beauty of horror stuff. There's a bunch of new beauty of horror stuff coming out in just a couple of weeks that just from being locked down, I've been really busy producing all that stuff. There's a Beauty of Horror coloring book #4 coming out. There's a journal called Haunt This Journal, and tarot cards. And this series has just consumed my life since 2016 when the first book came out. And we're in the process of making an animated TV show now based on the book series, and it's just it's kind of taken over my world. So between this and LOA, I'm pretty much tapped out.
Yeah, and I think this graphic here kind of sums up the current Beauty of Horror situation.
Yeah, yeah. It's the three new releases on the top there, and all the books on the bottom have come out since 2016. And it's just kind of taken off like in an incredible way, because I kind of started as a joke. The first time I even did a adult coloring page was as a joke on April Fool's Day 2016, and I put up a hand drawn drawing of CBGB's bathroom and for people to color, as like, here's adult coloring in my world. I drew the most disgusting thing I could think of, and it got downloaded over 400 times that night, and people were coloring CBGB's bathroom, and it was hysterical to me and really interactive, because up until that point, you sit behind your desk for months at a time and make a graphic novel. It comes out eventually, and then you might meet fans at a Comic-Con or something, and that's all the interaction you really have. But with these coloring books, people are coloring them right now and posting pictures on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and I love it. It's really interactive. It's a whole different audience than the graphic novels, and it's been so much fun for me.
That's awesome. And at a certain point, a couple years ago, we shared. We were right next to each other. We did the Chiller Theater Con in Parsippany. This is when my film, "Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Lago," just came out, and my other film, the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, they both came out pretty much within a month. And we had a table. We were in the rock room together, and
Right.
along with our friend Michael DeBar, who we love, and you were doing the Beauty Horror thing, and hey man, it's really taken off for you, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It keeps me busy. It kind of saved me during this pandemic, because I was booked with LOA for the whole year touring,
Right.
and that all went away, and this gave me something to focus on that was positive and creative, and it kind of filled the void for me and kept me busy and sane.
Yeah, it's like we talked about, this pandemic thing. One door closes, another one opens in a certain regard, and this thing's giving me the opportunity to do the show and focus up on my new film, and it's given you the opportunity to really focus up on your first true love, which is being a comic book artist, really.
Yeah, and especially, like, it was a lot of fun this time around, because with Beauty of Horror Volume 4, every page is a parody of the horror films that I grew up on, but with my characters. And so, you got Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Hellraiser, and a spoof kind of comedic twist on each one, and it was a lot of fun to work on.
Cool. Let's take a question. We got to get Rat Bones on, but from Thomas Starkey. River Runs Red was kind of a concept record around a tormented main character. How did that come about?
Well, we were huge Pink Floyd fans, and so Pink Floyd, The Wall, and not only the album but the film was a huge influence on us, and we wanted to take that type of storytelling and make a concept record in that kind of sense, but in our genre. and do it with sounds and atmosphere. And Josh Silver, the producer, keyboardist from Typo Negative, was really super talented at creating those types of audio scenes. And you know, a lot of the sounds we made right in his house, in his bathroom, in his bedroom. And that's my breathing. You hear like a lighter, and the phone messages was like, the teacher was my mom.
Wow.
The boss on the recording was our manager. The girlfriend that breaks up with the kid was my girlfriend at the time. It was like we used everybody that was around us to
That's
make
cool.
that stuff.
That's cool. And I also want to throw in that personally, I think Josh Silver was a really talented producer, and he did a lot of really great work. The stuff he did with you guys, the stuff, of course, with Typo, he did some sheer terror stuff. And
Yep.
I think that guy was an incredible talent. And apparently he doesn't produce bands and doesn't play music anymore, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't talk to Josh that often these days, but a bunch of years back, he just had like a calling to become a paramedic. And and that's what he's doing. God bless him,
That's it. That's incredible. Here's something from our man Chucky Brown, the singer for Crazy Eddie. Life of Agony played at the Wetlands the same night Nirvana played in '93. Of course, me and my homies went to see LOA. Good times. Were you on the same bill with them, or was it the same night?
It's kind of news to me. I didn't even probably know. I probably didn't know who Nirvana was back then.
Yeah.
I remember, me and Joey, we would sit, Joey Z, we would sit in his apartment looking through like the Village Voice, looking for who's playing in the back of it, And I remember we saw, I think it was Nirvana and Fish playing some venue, and we're like, who the fuck is Nirvana? And we ended up watching like Chainsaw Massacre for the 50th time in his house. But like we could have seen Nirvana before they exploded, and we were just like, Nirvana, what's that?
Yeah. I hear that. That's happened a couple times with me,
Yeah.
Where I've also seen bands that, like, I saw Jane's Addiction, play at like the Lismore Lounge, and go figure, I saw the Beastie Boys play like the A7. Didn't think they were very good, but listen, what do I know? What the hell do I know? Anyway, let's bring on Rat Bones and see what he has to say about all this. Brother, what's up?
What's up, Alan? I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying hearing all this. Good show.
Any Life of Agony folklore memories?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I'd have to say in the very beginning, we went to see them. I think it was Staten Island with the Cro-Mags, and it was like, early 90s, the whole parking lot full of skinheads in flight jackets and getting fucked up. And I remember going in the show and like not really getting what you guys were about, but like now in hindsight, of course, you influenced, major run of music there, there wouldn't be Linkin Parks. I mean, they'd be anyway, but I'm saying I think you influenced some of those later on bands that came after you guys, and that holy trinity, that unholy alliance from Brooklyn, the Biohazard, Typo Negative, Life of Agony. I think we used to call you guys Typo Negative's evil twin brother. Like it was just like it was almost a balance there, And I didn't know the connection then, as we, I know now. But awesome to see you expand your horizons too with the art. It's so incredible, Can't be a one-trick pony. It's really cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I remember those shows in Staten Island, the Wave and the Red Spot.
Yeah.
And,
hey, go ahead.
I can't remember. It used to be called Billy's, but they think the Rock Palace. That was it.
Yep. Hey, Alan. You guys early on, you guys played some funky places. I mean, you guys were in the trenches. Here's a flyer here from Animal Hall in Brooklyn. I mean, you guys were in there swinging the axe early on, huh?
I drew that flyer.
There you go. I love it. I did not know that. I just randomly, it was in my archives. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we would play a lot of like little places in Brooklyn at the time, Crazy Country Club. We would play out in Jersey. There was a place called Twin Lights that I think the stage was like a ping pong table. And I don't think there was one light in the place. They served pizza in the back. That's all I remember. Faces Club in Keensburg. And then we started to get opening spots in the city. We would play Zone Decay at like 2 a.m. and the Limelight. And our big break was opening for Overkill at the Ritz. And I think it was Biohazard Typo, and we opened the show. And that was like our big New York show. And then after that, I think we opened for AF at the Sundance at Long Island.
There you go.
And then we started to get more of those type of supporting slots,
And also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys really kind of caught the, I won't say caught on, but Europe loves you guys. Europe really loves Life of Agony, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the, like you said earlier, like the Through and Through video, things like that really helped us over there because we were developing fans even before we toured there. So by the time that we got there in 93, 94, we opened for Propane. That tour was completely sold out. It was bananas. And the Through and Through video was on in rotation on MTV out there. So, bands like us, Dog Eat Dog, were really exploding over there at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, here's Frederico in Norway. Norway loves LOA, he says.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And Thomas again says the music videos made the Roadrunner bands huge in Europe. And like we talked about before, I produced those Biohazard videos, Punishment, Shades of Grey, Tales from the Hard Side, After Forever, the Slam video, the Typo Negative video, you guys with Through and Through, Dog Eat Dog, and those Roadrunner video. Roadrunner worked those videos in Europe. They really got those out there, and that was instrumental in really seeding the fan base.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, at that time, the New York bands were getting these giant festival slots in Europe. So like the Dynamo Festival in Eindhoven, Holland.
Yeah.
I think it was over 100,000 people, and it was our first time on a big stage like that. And there's footage online. You could just see the crowd erupting. And we had never experienced anything like that in America.
Yeah. Yeah, especially here in New York, where everybody just sort of is kind of a little jaded, But you guys used to get them moving in L'Amour's, man. They loved you in L'Amour's, Rabin 777 says the UK loves LOA. Judging by the crowd in Leeds last October, it was the best crowd I've been in years.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, people still come out and support the band after all these years. I mean, you're talking about 30 years we've been together. And, we're so grateful for that.
Yeah. I think that Roadrunner, in hindsight, have to give Roadrunner a lot of credit. I mean, at the time, a couple people were down on them or signing those kind of like, deals. The deals were a little rough, multi-record deals with your merch and this and that, cross-collateralized and blah, 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 blah. And, those some of the deal, but but in hindsight, they built, they had that's what's missing now, is the record companies. They had the infrastructure to build a band, and here you are all these years later, and you have a career, and not just you, a lot of people, because of the work they did, and with the music videos and the PR and getting you on those European festivals. And Ryan here says, Canada too. Every kid and his dog had River Runs Red by the end of '94.
Yeah, I mean, Roadrunner. I remember when we signed with Roadrunner, it was like 5 people in a closet. And then they grew. They kind of grew with the bands, and they started to establish themselves in Europe and the UK, and they were really connected to the scene, and they knew what people wanted to hear in that age group, coming up in the 90s, and it kind of took on a life of its own, and they, they knew what to do with it. They really catapulted a lot of careers, even like Fear Factory guys, and they had a ton of bands at that time.
Sepultura,
right?
Madball, Dog Eat Dog. There was a lot of them. Hey, Rapones, you can relate to this. Life of Agony played City Gardens in Trenton in '94 with Madball. The show was packed wall-to-wall people. You remember City Gardens, Rapones?
Yeah, some of my famous photos are from City Gardens. Definitely, City Gardens was the spot. I'll tell you, not to go off track, off music, because I'm really enjoying this, but I got one good Life of Agony story I could tell from 2002. I was living in California, and I used to go out back behind my house. I lived off Sunset Boulevard a few blocks over on Wilcox. And I was in the back in the parking lot smoking a cig, and all of a sudden I noticed these 2 bald eagles were fighting way up in the sky, man. They were in a ball, fighting. They came down like, boom. As soon as they were about to hit, they broke away. And there was a crowd of people across the parking lot. We were both like, yo, did you see that shit? And I looked over, and it was like, they're like, Rapones? I'm like, yo, Life of Agony. And it was Life of Agony in the middle of nowhere. I guess they were recording. Were you with them then? Do you remember that or not?
That had to be probably when we were doing the Broken Valley record out in California.
It was 2002, I believe. It was that. It was so crazy to just randomly bump into you guys in my backyard, But the Eagles fighting were cool. We all got energized from seeing that. We were like, yeah, you were going places. I was going places. Good.
Hey, Alan, Chucky, our boy Chucky, big show supporter, and I know this. I read about this as well. You almost became the singer for Life of Agony for a moment there, right? In that transition period, and you were going to bring in Stuck Mojo bassist Corey Lowry, who I did a Stuck Mojo video back in the day. I certainly remember them. But was there thought about you stepping in and being the singer?
Yeah, it was right after it didn't work out with Wit. And again, we were just we had all this material written for another Life of Agony record. And I was singing on the demos. And the rest of the guys wanted me to sing. And I said, well, I'm not going to sing and play bass. So we brought Corey in, and it was like an experiment, really. It was like a couple of months. We demoed some stuff at Billy Milano's studio in Jersey.
Yep.
And that's really what became the deciding factor. I went and did Among Thieves, and Joey and Dan did Stuck Mojo with Corey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Rapones, we're gonna wrap it up. Anything on your way out?
Just great seeing your brother, and keep being the positive force in all the things you're doing, man. It's really inspiring, Every once in a while we have a guest on. It's very inspiring, You really make me want to go for it harder, Maybe I've been resting on my laurels too long. You got to take action, So it's been great seeing you, Alan, and great hearing your story, man.
Yeah, you too, man.
I'll see you next time, Drew.
All right, Rapones, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
See everybody later.
There he is, New York hardcore legend, Rapones. You know? Yeah, that's a strange tale. Yeah, it's true. You know, that's this is true. Ratbone's in his Eagle story. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It was great having
My
you.
pleasure.
Yeah, it was really nice. Nice calm show, man. I like shows like this, you know.
Yeah.
Where we really get into it. Tell people this here, what we have here. This is the latest the Beauty of Horror 4. That's the latest that's out now.
It's coming out first week of September.
Tell us about
like
it.
I said, it's every page is just a parody of the horror movies we grew up on. So this one is obviously Alien, and the little girl is Guliana. She's kind of this undead mascot for the series. She's in all the books, and there's kind of a little backstory about her with some poetry and things like that. So she just interacts with all these horror icons in strange and funny ways. And on the right, you could see that the colorists really bring these pages to life. And I can't color like that. I mean, that's insane. And this is just like colored pencils and markers on a piece of paper. And look at the depth on that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Really beautiful. Yeah. And tell everybody, we have some new converts here. Tell everybody where they can find this stuff.
Well, I have a website, alanrobert.com, and there's always thebeautyofhorror.com, and I'm pretty active on the socials. Pretty easy to find if you plug my name in, or Beauty of Horror, anywhere like that. And the books are all available on Amazon, and Walmarts and Targets and all like that.
Cool. And you got your whole Life of Agony crew checking in here, Johanna and Dominic, and Brian.
I missed them all. I missed their faces.
They miss you too, man. That's what she was. They really miss you too. These are your people, man. They love you. They love you, and they love the band, and that's your merch crew right there.
Holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll be back out as soon as we can. We got to get past this mess.
This too shall pass, man. It'll. In the meantime, you and I and a lot of other people, we will continue to make great art.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, man.
My pleasure, man. I'll talk to you soon, Alan.
Later.
Take care. Well, there you go. Wow, that was a great show. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. That was a lot of fun. Our guest was Alan Robert, and he was great. Nice, calm show. Talking about a lot of cool stuff and a lot of history. Thank you, Robert Hogg. Quality show. Yeah, man, it was good. Thank you, May. I hope you're well over there, and we'll see you. Yes, Dominic, they miss you too, man. See, Johanna, they miss you too. All right. Hey, Ian, thank you, man. It was, and don't forget what do we got next? Oh, you know what I didn't did I not mention? I don't know if I did I mention. I don't think I did. Just on the way out the door here, don't forget we got JoJo from Life of Agony. Excuse me. We got JoJo from Outburst coming up. On the 30th. Another Astoria, Queens. Another Astoria, Queens native. And hey, Rick, I hope you're well upstate, bro. William, thank you, William. Appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. I mean that. I truly do. I'm doing something that I really enjoy doing, and it's made possible because you're supporting me. You're supporting this show. You're supporting this community. If you're just tuning in for the first time, if you're living in a fucking cave, go check out the Patreon page, will you? Come on. I'm going down to Florida soon, and you know what that means? That might mean words of wisdom from Arnie Stone. I might have to get my dad on to drop some knowledge. while I'm down there, you know? So JJ Hater Rock, digging your show, Drew. Would love to see Carly or Ken Schlock one of these days. I'm not sure who Carly or Ken Schlock are, so you need to let me know. I know. Arnie, it's tough to get Arnie on the show. He's like, nobody cares about what I say. I'm like, no, Pop, people love you. Come on, you know? So Arnie, you know what? I'll get Dad back on when I'm down there. I'll get him. I tell you, I'm doing a couple shows. Also, for those of you out there that have one of these, this is a communication device here on the planet Earth in the Andromeda system. If you have one of these and you have Instagram, please follow me at Stone Films NYC on Instagram. Where is that banner? Where is that banner? Boom. Stone Films NYC at Instagram. Also, if you haven't already, follow the New York Hardcore Chronicles page on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube page. Please subscribe to it. You'll get alerts as to what is happening. God, I think I covered everything. Oh, I want to shout out my newest patrons on my Patreon page. You fucks. My new patrons. Here we go. Giuliano 7, John Viviano, Joe Nasso, John Harmon, James Pop, Rick Brust, Joel Hamlin, AJ Morocco, and John Cusera, a.k.a. Johnny Rock. Yo, Johnny Rock is a patron on my Patreon page. Shouldn't you? What are you waiting for? That's the community within this community, and that's where we really communicate as to who do we want on the show and what do we want to do and all that kind of scuttlebutt. The next show we're going to announce, make a formal announcement as to the live streaming show. It's very important. And that's it. I think that's going to be it. Anybody else? Hope your dad is safe. It's an oven down here in Florida. Bro, I'm on the way. I can't wait. Fuck. Yes, the Patreon crew is growing. That's it. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We'll see you soon. Do good things, and good things will come to you.